Second day of his visit to Brazil, China's Premier Li Keqiang visited Rio de Janeiro, the host city for the 2016 Summer Olympics. There, he announced billions of dollars worth of financing and trade deals. CCTV's Stephen Gibbs is tracking developments. He's live with us now with the latest.
Well, Mike, indeed, Premier Li spent the day here in Rio, and he started it doing something that many millions of Rio citizens do every day by taking a trip on the underground. Riding the Rio Metro. There was a good reason behind this photo call with Premier Li, and that is that several of the trains in this city's new underground system, including this one, are made in China. But perhaps not for much longer. Premier Li announced that the Chinese and the Brazilian governments are now talking about opening a factory in Brazil to build trains.
The governments of the two countries came together and reached agreement that we would like to build factories here in Rio de Janeiro, which will promote local employment and improve services for the local population.
Many here are still digesting the flood of investment projects that have been revealed on this visit so far, ranging from a 2,800-kilometre power line across Brazil to Chinese investment in the Brazilian banking system. Throughout, Brazil's President Rousseff and Premier Li have been emphasising one point, and that is that this is about deepening the relationship between these two geographically distant countries beyond one simply about imports and exports. The timing may well benefit both. Brazil's economy is close to recession, but the country needs infrastructure investment. Meanwhile, China's slowdown means that Chinese firms like these equipment manufacturers exhibiting in Rio are actively seeking opportunities abroad. So, Mike, that wraps up Premier Li's trip to Brazil. His next stop is Colombia. Mike.
Stephen, Premier Li preparing to leave Brazil, as you just mentioned. Ever any concern at all that this was going to be a difficult visit?
You know, I think of the four countries he's visiting, Brazil, Chile, Peru and Colombia, I think Brazil in a way may have been the most sensitive because it has an economy that is pretty close to recession, and one of the reasons that is because it's been very dependent on China and the Chinese economy has been slowing down. I think Premier Li has been sensitive to that. It certainly seemed to be part of his conversations with President Rousseff. And if you listen to everything he's been saying in the last 2 days, he's been repeatedly pointing out this issue that China has the money, it's going to come and invest here, it wants to come and invest here in infrastructure, but that's for Brazilian jobs, Brazilian factories, and people here that live here will benefit from it. It's not just going to benefit China. He says it's going to benefit everyone, including the regular people that live here in Brazil.
Stephen Gibbs live for us in Rio. Thank you.